So SUDEP came out of a workshop at the Royal College of Physicians that Jane organized with Steve Brown, myself, and some other people, Lina Nashev, where the definition for 3 days, there was heated discussion. And eventually the acronym SUDEP came out. So that's sort of, goes back almost 30 years. But we're a long way from where we were 20 years ago. Things are nice, guidelines have this. There's some country guidelines that still don't have it. So we have come a long way. It's part of most epilepsy nurses. Most people will know, and I say that SUDEP Action, for instance, is there. It's not like, I remember I went once to Germany, and they said, oh, this is the British disease. It doesn't happen here. So I said, okay, how many of you look after people with epilepsy? Almost all the neurologists put their hands up. How many of you have seen a young person with epilepsy dying of a heart attack? Quite a number put their hands up. And then, I said, you've probably seen SUDEP. You don't recognize it. The same thing happened in the Netherlands. The same thing happened in Portugal. And in Brazil, someone stand up and told me that I was an alarmist and I should be put to jail because everyone knows how benign epilepsy was. And then the same guy who's a neuropediatrician, 10 years later, he came, he said, I apologize for what I told you then. Nowadays, I know you're right. And, people not know, it's not that people don't want to know, but they're not educated. They don't put things together. And that is a major issue. We have hardly told medical students, for instance, that this is an issue. So that's where we still have time. We cannot sleep on our laurels. We still need to carry on telling people. But at the same time, with the sort of impact of artificial intelligence and people talking to Dr. Google, this comes up more and more. And I'm actually asking nowadays, when I see new people, I don't see that many new patients unless they come from North London, the catchment area. But almost every time you speak, people will have talked to Dr. Google and they know something about. And you have, there are times that people are reluctant to start treatment. Once this comes up, then the decision is much easier for them. So I think that, yes, we have made a long way, but we cannot actually give up. We should continue. But the other important thing is that people families that this happen, they have a major, this is really the most fatal and the most shocking outcome. So having SUDEP Action there, you can go post for people to go, and being counseling, talking to people that know what's going on and help to bring them to terms, which is, I think, is a very important role. Actually, I realized that I had been on some initial steering committee for epilepsy at the time was Epilepsy Bereaved. And then when SUDEP Action became, I was asked to be part of the scientific committee, which I realized that I have never, it's still in my CV. I don't think, I think I'm still there. So my connection to SUDEP Action goes back a long time. Not as formal of becoming a trustee, but it has always been there. So this is, you could argue that it's like an upgrade for for my relationship. But I'm really looking forward to join, and I'm looking forward what we can do, to not only educate everyone to avoid these sort of issues, but also what's the best thing to do for people if this unfortunately happens, because you cannot always. There are always going to be times that we will have this. until the time that we fully understand the condition from a scientific point of view and we be able to deploy preventative measures.